Beautiful day today. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity of New Westminster. For those of you who don't know, my name is Alexandra, and I'm delighted to be here with you today. I'd like to start by saying that we are fortunate to be able to gather on the Kakite land, the unceded territory of the Kakite people. Special welcome today for out-of-town visitors. Hello, Diane Mateer. Welcome back. And also a special welcome to anyone who is here for the first time, and you will have an opportunity to get a welcome packet from one of our ushers if you so desire, and you can see them after the service and they'll help you out with that. Now, if another piece of business, if you'd like to be added to the email list, you can write it down on your love offering envelope, or if you have another piece of paper you'd like to put it on, and you can put it in the love offering bag as it comes around. And that'll be able to enable you to receive our emails and allow us to keep in touch with you. Now, the Unity movement offers us an opportunity to learn spiritual principles for a meaningful and abundant life. We base our learning on the teachings of Jesus Christ and other great masters. Unity honors the universal truths in all religions and all faith traditions, and respects each individual's right to follow their own spiritual path. All are welcome here. All are celebrated here. Let us take a moment to begin in affirmative prayer. We are grateful to be here together in our community, that community of joy, where we sing together, laugh together, and mostly be inspired and grow in spiritual consciousness. Many names and paths lead to the one presence and one power that we call God. That power is the creating, attracting, and unifying force of love, which lies within each one of us, expresses through us, and is all around us. In this power, we are one. And from this oneness, we send a blessing of unconditional love, peace, and abundant joy to all beings everywhere. We are grateful, and so it is. Amen. Okay. what you're going to let go of today. The talk that I'm going to do today has been in the works since March 2016. Yeah. Spirit works in mysterious ways. I was reading an Oprah magazine that I picked up on my travels, and I found an article. And when I read the article, I got this little inner urge saying, this would be a great topic for a talk. And so here it is, 3 years plus later. Here's the article. And that's how I'm going to start us off today. Now, this article was about Oprah clearing out her closet at Harpo Studios, which was demolished in 2016. And she had been filming there for 25 years doing her television talk show, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with. And so what she was doing is, before it was demolished, she had to go through her closet. And you can imagine how many clothes and things had been accumulated from all the different shows and actions that she had. So let me set the stage. Here's Oprah in her 19 by 26 foot closet. So I'm trying to figure out how big is this room. Probably not all that much different than this room. And she's there with Adam Glassman, who is the creative director of O Magazine. I just want to check, make sure. Yeah, I got it right. Creative director. She had her fashion editor for the magazine and a fashion stylist. And for those of you who follow Oprah, she had her friend Gayle King there. So they're in this closet with all of Oprah's clothing, jewelry, shoes, trying to decide what she's going to keep and what she's going to release. So, here are some things that she wanted to get rid of. Oscar de la Renta, if anybody knows that famous designer. And she said, Oscar's gone now, and so is this sweater too. So she got rid of that. The jeans. And you know that Oprah's had her struggles, like a few of us maybe, with, weight issues. This was the pair that she was going to wear someday. I think it might have been the pair that she wore. If you catch her show, she was pulling a wagon behind her because she'd lost like 40 pounds, and she walked across the stage pulling this wagon that was loaded up with whatever, and it was the amount of weight that she'd lost. And, well, they didn't fit her anymore. So, she got rid of those. But she kept some things. Chanel Couture. This was one of those things that she was not about to part with. And for those of you who aren't up on your fashion, that's about as good as it gets when it comes to fashion. And her white shirts. Oprah has a habit, I've heard, of buying multiples when she finds something that really works for her. She likes these white shirts. And I actually saw her when she was in town in Vancouver a few weeks ago. And I may be incorrect in saying this, but it is my suspicion that she was wearing a shirt just like this. Okay. Now, those are some things she had to keep. And what woman doesn't agonize over the shoes? Do I keep it? Don't I? What works? What fits? What can I stand wearing that I could wear 20 years ago when high heels, were in vogue? These were keep. She wanted to keep them. And as this process went on, Oprah shared in this article some of her ahas. So here's what came about as she reminisced over the things that these clothes reminded her of and thought about the experiences that people connected with basically pieces of cloth. So here's what she said. I'm in a different place now, and those things no longer serve me. She got rid of some things. I was holding on to clothes that were all about a dream I had for myself. I chose them for this idea I got into my head of someone like me, translated famous star, was supposed to live. but they had nothing to do with my actual life. And she goes on to say, that changed me. I mean, I saw everything differently after that. I'm saying that you've got to make sure the exterior of your life reflects what you're feeling on the inside. And that sets things up for today. The outer and the inner, because as we know, it's all connected. Just want to let you know too that part of what Oprah did as a result of clearing out her closet, she auctioned off and gave the money that was raised as a result of auctioning off the clothing that she got rid of, and it was given to a charity, so it benefited people. So it just didn't go to Salvation Army or whatever else. So today, during our time together, I'm going to ask you to flip this idea that we might have heard before, as above, so below, as within, so without. And as true as that is, I'm asking you to think about it a little bit differently. I'm inviting you to take a look at the outer and consider that the state of your outer world, your environment, from your home to work, your car, even your purse, may be affecting the state of your inner world. As without, so within. So let's start by taking a general look at our surroundings. And I'm just going to announce right now that all of this applies to me. I do the work, I don't just talk about it. And sometimes with more success than others. Human, hello. So, often we have a lot of stuff. Oprah sure did. Sometimes too much stuff. Sometimes we have stuff that does not enhance our lives. And sometimes the stuff just accumulates and you don't even notice that it's piling up around you. Has anybody ever experienced that? Now, not everybody has, at least I know I don't, a 19 by 26 closet. Who knows, A, what her current closet looks like, and B, how many different closets she has. But this might make you think of something you've gone through. Anybody ever feel that, like, there's just too much stuff, it's coming out at me? It might even just be a drawer. Anybody have that drawer? No hands needed. I have a few of those places. Yeah, a drawer, yeah. That drawer, that catch-all one. And I have some areas like that in my home, and I say, well, I know if I put it here with all the other stuff that goes along with that if I need it, I know where it is, and I will be able to find it. Eventually. Yeah. So how valuable is my time as I'm searching for that? And if you are one of those people that has a place for everything and everything in its place, I congratulate you. It is an enormous task to be able to have that command of your environment, that control, that organization. And I'm going to just ask you to think about, though, even if you have things pretty well organized and your clutter under control, that perhaps there might be some things that you're hanging on to, that are not contributing to your happiness, they're not contributing to your contentment, and they're not contributing to your joy in life. They're just stuff. Now, you may have heard, we're going to look at some cartoons before, okay, so this is all about stuff. Yeah, and we're going to hear more about this later. Has anybody else ever done this? I will be having a yard sale to try and get rid of the things I bought at yard sales. Yes, I have done that. Yes, I have. And how about those things that are so important to you that you know that your family, your relatives, somebody dear to you will want? Yeah, okay, you know what that's like. Yes. And, sorry to say this is me too. Well, I'm in the process of keeping a clean desk and working on it. Home, not so bad. Here, well, now all the mess is on the computer. I am in the process of cleaning up my computer because I thought it was when Gmail told me, we're going to cut you off your emails because you've got too many in there. You've used up all your memory, and I thought, that's a sign, it's time. So that's what I've been working on. And this one here. Still too cluttered? What else is taking up space around here? You might be going overboard a little bit. And I actually had this kind of happen. I was getting ready for the move out here 10 years ago. I was in Ottawa, and I was going, gotta get rid of stuff. And I kept putting things outside in front of our house along the roadside. And it would be interesting. I'd watch at night, and I just kind of peek through the curtains because I would hear some noise. It's like the nighttime elves would come and they just disappear everything that was on the roadside. And it was like I'd wake up in the morning and it's all gone. However, I realized too that I was just going, gotta get rid of this stuff. And I didn't take that moment of intentionality just to say, I appreciate what this has brought to me, and I want this to bring some type of benefit to the person who ends up with it. And from then on, anything else I did release, I just made sure that I had that moment of gratitude and releasing with the hope that it would benefit somebody else. Now, some of you may have heard of this young lady. Her name is Marie Kondo, and she's an author. Wrote a book called Does It Spark Joy? She's probably written other ones since then. She's been on television, social media, and her thing is that she has created a system for decluttering and organizing so that everybody can be perfectly organized. And what a wonderful dream. We can make it a reality after today, you know. And so she has this theory. Part of her theory is that if things don't spark joy, those are her bywords there. If things don't spark joy, why are you keeping them? Why have this stuff around unless it's enlivening you and uplifting you? And her system, by the way, is called KonMari. She reversed her name, her Marie Kondo, so Kon from Kondo, and Marie. So she has this system called KonMari. And I know somebody who uses her method of folding clothes. And the drawers in the dresser it's just like, oh my gosh, everything is just lined up. And I think it's done by color too. And they can just go in there and they can just grab whatever they want. And I thought, that's wonderful, and I'm glad it works for them. I thought, I've been folding clothes the same way for over 50 years, and it's working okay for me. So, however, I realized, yeah, I'm open to new things. Maybe I'm not going to go overboard with these new ideas. However, I also check in to say, is there something that can benefit me, improve my life by doing this? So, as I said, I'm continuing to work on this. One of the ways that I play with organizing and decluttering is through something that's known as feng shui. And you've probably heard about it. So it's not feng shui. I know, we want to do it phonetically. And to tell you the truth, I do my best to pronounce it authentically, feng shui, and that's, again, phonetically how it would be pronounced. I once had a student who was a little Chinese girl, and I said, how do you say feng shui? You know what that means? And she goes, oh yes, and she said it, and it was so perfect. And I thought, okay, I'll just do the best I can with my accent. The words in Chinese mean wind and water, and it's about the idea of having the unseen, the wind and the water, the seen, and how they flow together, the inner and the outer. And even though it's a Chinese tradition, ancient Chinese tradition, I have been fortunate to find someone who's created what is known as Western feng shui. And what this person has done, her name is Catherine Collins, she has taken the principles of feng shui and she's found a way to make them usable by those of us in Western society. I've been studying it off and on for about 20 years, and I actually haven't met Tara Catherine Collins, but I've spoken to her on the phone and done a bit of emailing now and then. Her book is the latest one that I just got. It's a few years old, The Western Guide to Feng Shui, Room by Room. So this is a refresher course for me. Now, what is Feng Shui? This is one of the pictures, the diagrams in her book. And she says, in this spiral, starting in the center and working your way out, Feng Shui is the study of how to arrange your outer world to enhance your inner world, to enhance your outer world, to enhance your inner world, to enhance your outer world, to enhance, you get the idea? That it's all connected. And as we do something in one, it can enhance the other. Or sometimes not, depending on what that may be. Now, Tara has stated in her book that there are 3 fundamental principles. We have unity principles. She's got Feng Shui principles. Here's the first, principle number 1. Everything is alive with qi. And qi is, in her interpretation, vital energy. That's the word she used in the book. So I'm going to say, okay, so that's what she says about Feng Shui. Unity might say, God is divine energy, continually creating, expressing, and sustaining all creation. So not unlike, everything is alive with qi. And Reverend Rona, by the way, calls it the force, and there is no spot where God is not. Even those inanimate objects, like a rock, like this platform, the chairs you're sitting on, anything in the material world, is alive on some level with this vital energy, by whatever name you choose to call it. And principle number 2 is everything is connected by qi. Well, I think I read in our opening prayer, we're all one, we're all connected. That's what unity teaches. Principle number 3 for Feng Shui, the qi in everything is always changing. From our bodies to the seasons, everything is changing. And unity teaches that as expressions of God, our nature is to continually evolve. There are parallels between Feng Shui and unity. So if everything is alive with energy, we're connected by this energy, and everything in this physical realm that we're in is changing, perhaps we can take a moment just to think about how this is affecting us and what it might mean for us. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is just do a simple exercise. I'm going to invite you just to take a moment to kind of relax and settle into your chair. And if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. And if not, that's okay too. So I'm asking you to use the power of your imagination. Imagine, if you will, your home. Take a quick scan, whatever area that comes to you. Are there items there that make your heart sing? Things that every time you look at them or use them, you experience a wonderful feeling. Just by looking at them or being around them, you feel better. Got that? Now scan that area again, or another area if it comes up for you, to find out if there's anything there that you don't really like. You just don't get a good vibe from it. Are things there arranged in a pleasing way? Can you maneuver easily around the furniture? Is there maybe a little bit too much stuff in that area? Are there things you could let go? So now I just ask you to return your attention to this time and space again. Did you notice any difference between focusing on things that you love and those things that maybe not so much? Did you have a different feeling? I'm not asking for anybody to give me an answer. I'm hoping that through this little exercise that you've had an opportunity just to check in and take a closer look at what we're allowing into our lives and the effect that those things can have upon us. As without, so within. And just in case something came up for you, maybe in that area that you didn't like so much, this isn't about guilt or shame. I should have. Oh, why did I leave that? I could have been dealing with that. Whatever may have come up in that regard, just let it go. This is only about observation to help you tap into what's around you and how you're feeling about it. That's all this is, an opportunity for observation. In her book, Tara says that her possessions, her belongings, talk to her. And as I'm reading this, she's saying, she refers to them as who they are and what they're saying to her. And I thought, okay, Tara, you know, I get where you're going with this, but I thought that's maybe even a little much for me, thinking that things are talking to her. And she calls them who. Yet I realized, as I thought more about it, oh, I found myself if I'm looking for something. And I'll say, where on earth did you get to? I know you're here somewhere. And there are those times when I get answers. Not maybe a verbal reply. It's just I get this inkling, oh, why don't you look here? So we are, whether we realize it or not, connected to everything around us. And we have a relationship with everything around us. Now this dress, for instance, it's always a big deal when I come here with a dress because usually people see me in jeans or something more casual. This dress talks to me every time I look at it in my closet. It says things like, remember when you bought me at that store in Germany? Oh, I remember. Remember when you were sitting at the Ritz in London, England, at afternoon tea, wearing me. And then later, when you were standing with your daughters in front of Buckingham Palace and a kindly tourist offered to take your picture to commemorate that event. So when I see this dress, I get good feelings just from looking at it. It might not be the prettiest thing I own, it might be not the fanciest, but every time I see it, it's like, ah, yes. And it has pockets. And I can keep my keys through pockets. It's a miracle for me to find dresses with pockets, especially for the work that I have around here. Yeah. So, doubly blessed. Now, the thing about thinking about the without going within is that it can be opening up some things that we hadn't really thought about. Asking ourselves if we love something, or if we don't love something. It's not something maybe, at least I don't, do every day. I'm doing my best to tune in now. Thinking that the without can have an effect on the within. So now I'm going to issue an invitation to you to perhaps when you go home, start looking around at your environment. Maybe there's that drawer that's sitting there, maybe an easy place to start. Take a look in there. What's really in here? Do I need it? Why am I hanging on to it if I don't really need it? Is it organized? Can I find the things that I want when I look in there? Those are some of the questions that I'm hoping that you'll start asking yourself as a result of this. Yeah, I'll read it if you can. Can't see it from where you're at. I find it helps to organize chores into categories. And let's face it, decluttering, clearing things out, that's a chore, right? Well, some of us might not consider it a chore. No labels there. She says, things I won't do now, things I won't do later, and things I'll never do. And hopefully we're not going to be going down that road. But reality is we have some things that take a little more effort and a little more energy to get us moving in that direction. So in doing my research for this talk, I came across an article in Psychology Today Canada, and it had 18 reasons why people don't work on organizing and decluttering. Whoops. So, sorry, I don't know why that one came out. Sentimentality, well, I already talked about that. It'll be a while before I get rid of this dress. Although someday I might just go, you were great, I loved you, it's time to let you go. So you're not ready, you're waiting for the right time. Anybody ever have that happen to them? Unable to bite off small pieces to downsize. Just that one little thing, the one drawer, one piece of paint, whatever it takes. We sometimes think of the big picture and forget step by step we can accomplish it. Not aware of an alternative. I didn't even think I could live any other way. Out of sight, out of mind. Okay, closet, drawers, you name it. You've got all of those. This one, I may need it someday. And I've gotten rid of things, and sure enough, I find later on, darn, why did I give that away? I could have used it. And yet, it's found a new home somewhere, and I'm helping the economy if I have to go out and buy a new one. So you're choosing to think positively. I can't waste any thoughts of lack. If I get rid of this, I won't have anything. My world will be empty. Overwhelmed, don't know where to begin. Think of the bulging closet. And it's not a priority. I got better things to do. And that happens. Sometimes, it's the way it is. So whatever reasons, though, that you may have to hang on to unwanted or unnecessary things in any moment, you can choose the process of releasing and letting go. That's what that song was about. I ain't going to carry that load no more. It's talking about stuff we have within. I can talk about the other stuff hanging around. I ain't going to carry that load no more. Now, for the commercial part of our program, and for those of you who might be watching at home, that's a joke. Because we're having a summer sale. And so if you happen to be cleaning out in the next couple of weeks, if you've been inspired, please feel free to drop off things here in the hall, and that will help Unity, it will help you, and if we don't end up selling everything, those things will be given away as well. Maybe not auctioned off like Oprah, but yeah, we'll do that. And one person's junk is another person's treasure. I think you've heard that before. Of course, if you live with someone, you may have to do some negotiation about what gets released. Yeah. And it's like the other person just loves that thing and you can't stand it. And yet you have to work out a dialogue, communication to find out what the feelings are around this and what ways you might be able to accommodate both. And if you come into agreement that there are things you can both agree on and say, yeah, let's let it go, isn't that a wonderful end result of that process? Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. From Romans 12, verse 2. As we get into doing this work in the outer, it leads us to the inner. And in examining this environment that we have around us, you're creating the possibility for transforming and renewing your inner world. So as you make decisions about, do I keep it, don't I, do I give it away, do I throw it out? There's other things going on inside. Perhaps there are old beliefs that you've accepted without question. You want to carry that load anymore? Emotions that arise from unresolved issues. Attitudes that color the way we see and be in the world. Recurring thoughts that keep you from moving forward to a new, better life. Like in the outer, we can choose to examine and release those things in consciousness that no longer serve us and no longer enhance our lives. Like the drawer, you don't have to do it all at once. It may be beneficial to start with just one thing, one area of your life where you're going, yeah, I've hung on to that for a long time, maybe it's time to let it go. If you try and do it all at once, you may get into that overwhelmed state. It's really up to you because this is your journey. And as we engage in this process of release, both in the outer and the inner, we're creating the space for greater harmony, peace, love, prosperity in our lives. And who doesn't want that? The good, the acceptable, and the perfect. This is what the process of release can be. Opening up to those things that are befitting the perfect divine beings that we truly are. As we do this, we're creating the space for more of our divine nature to show forth, letting your light shine more brightly in this world. Who knew that by getting rid of an old dress or an old jacket, you could be beginning the process of spiritual transformation? I think Oprah knew, and I think she had the right idea. Let us take a moment now to reflect on these ideas as we listen first and watch a video by Daniel Nahmod. I want to be like water.
I've seen my share of struggle when I thought that I knew best. When I sailed through the storm instead of stopping to rest. And it always seems the hardest when I made up my stubborn mind. But I'm changing my ways this time. Wanna be like water coming down a mountain in the shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water head uphill, no more running bound for the sea. Have you ever seen an eagle head straight to the wind? He doesn't pick a fight, he spreads his wings and just gives in. And in the end he always makes it home just fine. I guess he knows that every storm subsides. Wanna be like water coming down a mountain in the shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water head this river's meant to go. I have railed against the stars for the cards that I've been dealt, for the lottery I've never won, the heartache that I felt. But it always seems when I let go, expectation and regret, life has plenty of surprises for me, yeah. I wanna be like water coming down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head up hill, no more I am bound for the sea. Wanna be like water coming down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head up hill, no more I am bound for the sea.
Now let's just take a moment as we take those words within, focusing on your breath, closing your eyes if it's comfortable for you. With each breath entering into a deeper state of relaxation as we just release and let go. Our breath flows in and out. I want to be like water. Water flows. Whatever obstacle water may encounter, water continues to flow. Whether it's the power of the raging rapids or the gentle meandering of a stream, rough edges are smoothed, all obstacles worn away. Water weaves its way over, under, around. As we release and let go of those things that we identify as obstacles in our outer world, life flows more smoothly, more effortlessly, more easily. As we release and let go of those things that we identify as obstacles in our inner world, we attune to the faith and assurance that we will always find our way back to Source. I invite you to take these words as your own. I'm in the flow of divine life. I am divine life, expressing as me. As I come to this realization, I can relax into the flow of life. I know that whatever may present itself, without or within, I can be like water, always finding my way back to Source. There I am at peace. Take a moment now, in the silence, to feel the peace of connecting with Source. Today's daily word, inner peace. I allow the peace of God to flow through me now. When I feel stressed by the busyness of my day, I remember the peace of God is as close as my next thought. No matter what is happening around me, I can always choose to experience a deep inner peace. Finding peace requires no strenuous effort, but only my permission and cooperation. Exhaling all tension, I inhale peace. Peace calms my thoughts and emotions and relaxes my body. With each breath, peace fills me and radiates from me. I continue to draw from this deep well of peace as I resume my daily activities with renewed energy and a quickened awareness of the infinite presence. From Philippians chapter 4, verse 7. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. I allow the peace of God to flow through me now. And so it is. Amen. Breezy day, summertime. Summertime, when the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your daddy is rich, and your wife's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. You're gonna spread your wings and you take to the sky. Until the morning, there is nothing can harm you. For Daddy and Mommy standing by. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Ooh, your daddy is rich, and your mother's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry.
Good day, everyone, and I'm Lyle Dillingham, and I'm here to tell you what's happening at Unity this week. So first of all, in July, we hold in prayer these two spiritual centers, the Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor, Ontario, and the Unity Church of Victoria, BC. Today after service, our chaplain, Gladys Wiedek, with her hand up over there, will be available for one-on-one prayer support And energy balancing is also available. I don't believe that you're doing that, are you? Yeah, that's okay. No, I was. Okay. And on Tuesday, July 30th, our Foundations of Unity class on Zoom will be in the Fellowship Hall at 7 p.m. Please note, there is no mindful meditation in August for any August sessions. On Thursday, August 1st, 11 a.m. prayer circle. Of course, everyone is welcome to attend. And then after that, at 11:45 will be a lunch and book study, Discover the Power Within You by Eric Butterworth. Okay, Unity Canada and the 2019 conference. Be a Quitter, Unity Canada 2019 conference, September 24th to the 28th, 2019 at Unity Village, Missouri. So register now, and hopefully there will be a few people that will attend that. Reverend Dr. Martha Creek will be the keynote presenter, as well as Daniel Amoud, who is also the person who did the song that Alexandra referred to earlier. Okay, Unity of Canada and Sheila Mayer, licensed Unity teacher, present meditation practices. The time says 7 to 9 p.m., but I believe it's 4 to 6 p.m. our time when they take place, from July 22nd, and for 6 days till August 26th. And there's a number of different things, from the intro, benefits, practicing the silence of Unity style, and overcoming barriers, to guidelines and gurus. It's online. Everyone is welcome, and attend any or all of them. And a love offering is also accepted. For details, please contact Sheila Mayer, or Sheila Mayer at license.lut@gmail.com. You can also speak to Sandy or Rona about that as well too. Our Foundations of Unity HTS 100 course is still going on. Starts Tuesday, or it's Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 7 p.m. Pacific Time. Starting July 23rd, 2019 for 5 sessions, 2 hours each. I believe you could get credit for this if you pay a small fee. Or it is a small fee, isn't it? Yeah.
$45.
$45.
There's a possibility of getting financial support as well.
Okay. Okay, so classes are via Zoom. Join the group at Unity of New Westminster Hall Tuesdays, July 30th to August 20th, 7 to 9 p.m. And see Sandy and Rona as well too if you'd like more information. Okay, New West Pride is coming up Saturday, August 17th from 3 to 8 p.m. on Columbia Street. You can come to visit, or you can also volunteer at the Unity booth. Tiff and I will be there for that, for the whole day. So if you'd like to attend and be part of that, please join us. It's always fun to visit and meet new people as well too. Birthday Sunday is today. Yes. So join us as we celebrate our congregants and guests who are born this month. So if you have a birthday, please join us in the fellowship hall, and we will sing to you and wish you a very wonderful year. And again, our summer sale, Unity New West, Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Bring your new and gently used items and bake sale stuff, as well as a silent auction. Drop them off Sunday, Tuesdays, or Thursdays between 10 and 3 if possible for you. So remember that you can drop off items probably at the door, which some people have been doing, on Sunday, Tuesday, or Thursday between 10 and 3. Okay, so now it's time to hold those love offerings that you have and hold them in a special place and sing along with us.
taking this, yeah, let's have a applause. So we're taking this moment to bless together these offerings that have come forth, evidence of our abundance that is shared. These offerings go to bless our Unity community here, Unity Canada, Unity worldwide, and beyond. And for these, we are grateful. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. And now's that time when we have gratitude. Boy, do we have lots to be grateful for. First of all, I have to say a special thank you for Alex and Gisela. Wow, what a wonderful contribution to our music team. Gisela, thank you for being willing to do. And solo, amazing. And Alex, master as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for everyone else who's joined together to create this service. We're especially highlighting this month our hospitality team. I never know if Joanne is in here because usually she sneaks down to start, doing all the stuff in the kitchen. And our social team led by Gisela and Cindy Noble, our board treasurer who's away on vacation for today. So we are grateful for those who are serving. And if you are feeling the call to serve, please know that you can speak to any one of these team leaders and let them know that you'd like to join in that love in action opportunity. Yeah, I'll put in a plug for everybody there. So let's take this moment now. Let's see if we can make our open circle of love around the room. And please know that your presence makes a difference here.
Everybody's